Hey traders, Marcello here, founder of the Day Trading Academy. Today we're going to be talking about how to get started trading. We're here in our trading center in Medellin, Colombia. This is where we train traders, we fund traders. Obviously, we have a few different centers around the world now. We do most of our training online, but I'm getting a lot of questions recently in regards to how to get started or what you need to do or how much money does it take. So I wanted to cover in this video just the entire thing of everything you need to know if you want to learn how to start trading. I know that the majority of you are probably looking to make a little bit of extra income, so you do it on your spare time, or you maybe have a full-time job, or you're 18 years old and you want to make $1 million trading tomorrow. So I wanted to just go ahead and cover everything in terms of what you need. So the first and foremost, obviously, you're going to need a few, let's say, the infrastructure, right? You're going to need a computer. You're going to need good enough internet, which most of you guys in the United States, whether you have normal internet access at your house or if you have 4G Wi-Fi, 4G cell phone service, that's going to be enough. And after that really comes the more complicated stuff, right? Things like the strategies that you need to trade or what market to trade, which is the best market. One thing I want to be completely honest with you guys about is there is no one best way to trade. Okay, it doesn't matter what market you're trading, it doesn't matter how you're trading, what indicators, what strategy, all that stuff, it doesn't matter. All right, I'm going to be completely honest with you because I know I'm never going to tell people that I'm the best trader in the world or there is just one best way to do it, because I think most of the people in this industry always kind of point the finger at the other guy, right? Oh, no, he's a scam, or that one doesn't work, or this market is horrible, you should do that market. So that's the first thing I want to be honest with you guys, all right? So just in terms of a computer, it doesn't have to be fancy. I know that this is a Dell Alienware laptop, if you guys can see it there on the screen. It's refurbished, which means it costs about $1,200. Retails probably about $2,000 or $3,000. I would say that a standard $700 or $800 computer is more than enough. And really, it doesn't matter what the specifications are, whether it's the top of the line, bottom of the line. The most important thing is RAM, which means the memory in the computer. That's it. That's all you need. Internet, I'm sure that most of you guys have covered. So when it comes to the best markets to trade or how to kind of get started doing this, one thing I want to let you know is there's two paths that you guys can take. First is obviously looking for a trader mentor, a guru, or the sales courses, whatever the case may be, or doing it on your own. You don't have to spend $10,000 to be able to learn how to day trade. You don't have to spend $20,000, $30,000. The only thing that it's going to be different in terms of doing it for free or doing it with a course or a program or an academy is it's going to be less time learning from someone rather than doing it on your own. I'm sure most of you guys know that there's a ton of information online. You're going to have to sift through all the information in order to find out what's best. If you want to find somebody to trade from, obviously do your research, talk to testimonials, etc., etc. So one of the things I do want to let you know before I start to get into the technicalities of trading is we are walking into what I believe is going to be a pretty significant crisis, right? We've had a recession on point every, I'd say, 4 to 6 years since the beginning of the Republic of the United States. The last major recession or recession period was in 2009 because of the government doing quantitative easing. If you guys don't know what that means, it's they're helping the economy by injecting money, the government directly. We never had a recession around when we should have had one, which is 2012, 2013. So now we're walking into a period where we've had the longest economic cycle, in the third longest economic cycle in the last 72 years, if I remember correctly the numbers. So we're overdue for that recession or that crisis. And if you guys are watching this video, it's because you want to learn how to trade. And I'm letting you know that now is a great time to start, because if and when that crisis or recession hits, traders make a lot more money when things are bad, other than when things are good. So that's one thing I want to tell you guys. So first and foremost is time. So what kind of time do you guys have to be able to learn how to day trade? Once you learn how to do this properly, all right, once you really learn how to successfully or become a consistent trader, you're going to be able to do this in a very short amount of time every day. So we're talking 30 minutes, an hour, maybe even less. But in the beginning, it's going to take you a unsurmountable amount of time to learn how to do this, because obviously, you know, that old saying, 10,000 hours, you have to learn or have to apply yourself to learn the techniques. One thing I do want to let you know is trading is about 10 or 15% technical. That's it. 10 or 15% technical. That means the strategy that someone's going to teach you, or the strategy that you're going to learn to develop on your own, is only going to be 10% of what you need to know. I believe it's about 10%, even though some people say it's about 15%. What you're really going to have to master is going to be the psychology. It's going to be 85-90% of what you need to learn to be able to become a successful trader. So that's another thing as well, and that's part of the reason why I believe most people don't learn how to do this quickly, because they focus, you know, we think that there's a magic system or a holy grail indicator or a holy grail guru that's going to teach us how to do this. And at the end of the day, the reality of the fact is it doesn't really matter what you trade, how you trade it, or strategy you use to trade. Most people don't learn to do this properly because they're not willing to look on the inside. So that's another thing I want to let you guys know as well. So if you're going to start on this path of becoming a trader, what I would do more than anything, is even in the beginning, is start learning about psychology, you know, about yourself, about how to master yourself, how to get over your fears, those demons that we all have inside, right? Which is something that's really, really important to learn. After that, it really comes down to, are you going to trade stocks? Are you going to trade Forex? You're going to trade futures? You're going to trade options? You know, or if you guys are in the UK, CFDs, you know, binary options, which I definitely would not recommend. One of the reasons why I believe all of us want to learn how to do this or learn how to trade is because we want our own time, right? You're probably learning this because you're tired of working 9 to 5. You're sick of that boss that tells you to do things you don't want to do. I still remember a funny story when I was younger. I was working at a bakery, very similar to Panera Bread, if you guys know it, especially you guys in the States. And the second week on the job, he told me to go clean the bathroom, and the bathroom obviously was filled with things all over the wall, which I don't want to mention here in the video, and I just told him I wasn't going to do it. So all of you guys probably have those situations, I'm sure. So when you're going to learn how to be able to day trade, obviously, for me, I'm lazy. I don't want to sit there and look at reports, learn what the CEOs are doing of the companies. I want to be as effective as possible in the market. So there's obviously a difference between short-term trading and long-term trading, right? I believe that short-term trading is best, especially in the beginning. One, because it's going to give you more practice, because at the end of the day, this is practice that we have to learn, right? And also because it's going to allow you to make more money in a lot shorter amount of time. So one of the things that I absolutely love about the futures market is, with stocks and Forex, which most of you guys are probably watching this video are kind of inquiring about, we have to find what Forex market we have to trade, or we have to find what stock to trade, because not every stock is going to move every day. Or with penny stocks, for example, you're going to have to do a lot of research to find out the right penny stocks to invest in. Whether it's, you know, strategies where you see the pump and dump and you short on the dump, whatever the case may be. So in my humble opinion, I've been doing this for about 15 years now. All the traders that I've seen, academies come and go, traders come and go, students that I've learned, that I've taught, whether it's the 18-year-old that doesn't know anything about this at all, or the 30-year-old $50 million hedge fund manager that wants to revolutionize his trading, because obviously trading now is completely different than it was back in the day. Most of us, and I'm sure that you guys will agree with me, I don't want to work all day. I don't want to read reports. I don't want to do any of that stuff. So the reason why I love the futures market is because it simplifies the process, right, of being able to trade on one market, not doing any homework, open up our computer, we do a 5-minute pre-market analysis, and we start trading. That doesn't mean that you can't be successful with markets like Forex or stocks or those. But that's my personal opinion, and most of the traders that I've seen trade in the futures markets don't trade anywhere else. One of the things that you also have to know about when it comes to trading is leverage. In stocks and Forex, we need to borrow money in order to have the leverage that we need and pay interest on it. So if we lose that money, obviously we have to pay that money back with interest. In the futures market, we have more leverage, which means that we can trade a lot more than less. Now, I don't want this to be a video where I'm kind of pushing futures to everybody, but those are some of the differences that I think that you guys have to know when it comes to being able to learn how to trade. One of the biggest questions that I get is, well, can I learn how to do this on my spare time? Whether you have a full-time job or a family or university, whatever the case may be. And I don't know of any other markets, other platforms I should say, that records the information and then you could learn to trade as if you were doing it live at 8 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock in the morning. That's one of the advantages also that we have with a lot of the futures trading platforms, where they record the information and you can literally learn at 8 o'clock at night. You know, there's a lot of different instances that I can give you of traders. Professional hockey player, you know, shout out to my man Iceman in Norway. He learned how to do this on his spare time, being a professional sports professional. You know, it's different cities all the time, just by being able to trade at night or trade on the weekend. So most of you guys are interested in trading stocks or investing in stocks. I would highly recommend that you guys look for an intraday strategy where you guys can trade every day, because what that's going to allow you to do, if you're doing swing trading, and let me just explain to you guys the difference. Intraday is where you get in and out the same day. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, it could be 1 second, it could be an hour, it could be 3 hours. Swing trading is where you hold a position overnight, or up to, me personally, I consider it overnight or up to about 3 or 4 weeks. So if you think about this analytically, about us learning how to be able to do this, if we have more practice or the ability to practice more, right, we're going to be able to get it quicker, because we're going to be able to practice more. And in the futures market, our sessions, I would say practice sessions or trading sessions, normally last, I would say, anywhere between an average of 20 to 45 minutes. So imagine, you know, in an hour or two a day, if you're able to commit that amount of time, or let's say an hour or two Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, you're able to get in 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions at the same time without even doing any homework. We don't have to do any research investing what stock we're going to invest in. We don't have to do any research looking at Forex. Now, there are going to be, and something that I do want to keep in mind for you guys that are watching this video, there are going to be certain disadvantages and advantages to learning how to trade. I always try to be transparent with everybody in these videos, because I know all of you guys think that you're going to learn how to trade tomorrow, right? You're going to buy a strategy and tomorrow you're going to be a millionaire. That's not the way it works. This is something that's going to take a lot of time to be able to learn, more than anything in the beginning. But what you have to try to do is simplify the process, the entire process, because what we have to focus on is the psychology. That's the most important thing in this game. So you're gonna have a very high likelihood of losing money, right? When I first started trading, I took out $25,000 in student loans and I lost it in a month. So I did what any other responsible man would do, is I went out and I took more loans out. So there is a very high possibility that you are going to lose money, but obviously the traders that become successful in this industry, they go, you know, they take the punches, right, one by one, because obviously that's how you learn about yourself and that's how you learn to become a successful trader. So in terms of, you know, specific strategies or how to get in or where to get out, one of the things that I would recommend that you guys consider as well is that and just as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, there is no one right way to trade. There's a million different ways to trade. In my experience in the 15 years in the markets, I have seen a slew of traders, just thousands, you know, whether they're professional ones or students, and all the different ways. There's a million ways to make money. So the one thing I would implore you to do is obviously do your due diligence, do your homework, decide who you're going to learn with. But just because you don't make money with one system or one strategy doesn't mean the grass is greener on the other side. Because one of the things that I definitely see in this world of day trading is you buy a strategy, you started trading, it doesn't work, then oh, this guy's doing well. And then you buy another one, it doesn't work, oh, this guy's doing well, right? And then we keep just going back and forth and back and forth, and you never become that successful trader that you want to become. So what I would recommend you do is decide on what you're going to learn or who you're going to learn with. Obviously, in my humble opinion, with 15 years in the markets, I believe that the futures market is the best because it's a lot more simple to learn. You can learn even at 8 p.m. if you guys are busy. You can learn on the weekends, and you can make a lot more money with less. You can start with just $1,000, and instead of making just $1 for every dollar that the market goes up, we can make up to $50,000 to $5,000 every dollar that the market goes up. And obviously that might be a little bit technical for a lot of you, which is okay. I'm sure that as you guys watch more videos and study more, you guys will definitely understand what that means. And once you really learn how to understand how the market works, which is key, indicators don't matter, charts don't matter, none of that stuff matters. The most important thing is you learn the market structure, learn how it moves, learn how it works, because then what you're going to be able to do is once you learn that, you can apply it to any market in the world, whether it's in Singapore or in the United States or the UK. So those are a lot of the things that I would talk about in this world of being able to how to get started trading. I know it's not any technical information about where to get in, where to get out, but I really personally feel that day trading is a really personal endeavor. You can't trade like somebody else because you guys are different than me. You might be more aggressive, Andrea or Daniel, you guys that are watching this video. So you can't trade exactly like I do. You have to be able to adjust to the strategy that you're using based on what you feel comfortable with. That's really, really important, because if you're more conservative or you're more aggressive, you have to adapt that to your personal style. That's something that I believe that we help traders with at the Day Trading Academy, because we don't necessarily quote unquote trade with rules as much as we do with structure. And having that structure allows a little bit of wiggle room. Think of like a cardboard box, where you're kind of able to move around a little bit rather than rigid rules where you can't really move at all. So other than that, I think it's just a matter of understanding the requirements and being able to trade. Obviously with Forex, you can open up an account with $500. With stocks, you need a minimum of $25,000 to trade with. With futures, it's only $1,000. I personally believe that beginners especially should not learn how to trade in the Forex market, because one, it's way too complicated and it's way too manipulated. Whereas the futures market, it's a lot less, there's a lot less manipulation and a lot simpler to be able to learn how to do this. And you don't have the strict requirements in futures like you have in stocks, where you need $25,000 to start trading with. So I'm just kind of reviewing in my head all the other things that I need to review for you guys. I think it's a pretty in-depth video, so I hope you guys like it. If you guys have any questions, just mark it with hashtag AskMarcello, no H, double L, and now I'll pull those questions for you guys so I can answer them. So hopefully you liked the video. We're gonna head to Mexico soon for all of the traders that we have, and we'll talk to you soon, guys.